Hello everyone, my name is Aarti and you're watching HW News. The countdown for the polling day has begun in Uttar Pradesh. The state will go for a poll starting 10th of February, which means less than a month from now. Political parties in the state are scrambling to finalize candidates' seat-sharing formulas for the election. Many have already announced the first list of candidates. The BJP, in fact, announced the first list of 54 candidates in Uttar Pradesh. This time, Yogi Adityanath will be contesting elections too. He will contest from Gorakhpur, whereas Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya will contest from Sithura. On the other hand, Rival Samajwadi party also has announced seat sharing with RLD. Just a day before, it had also welcomed 2 ministers and several sitting BJP MLAs into its fold. Majority of them are OBCs. The Congress party has also announced a list of 125 candidates. 50 of them are women, as promised by the party when it announced that it will give 40% seats to women this time around in Uttar Pradesh. So we are seeing some activity going on in BJP camp, in Samajwadi party camp, and to a certain extent even in the Congress camp. But in all of this, one party remains absent, and that party is Mayawati's BSP. As I said, elections are less than a month away, but Mayawati and her BSP is nowhere to be seen on the ground. Out of news and out of sight, this election season in Uttar Pradesh, the question is, where is Mayawati? The larger question, where are Dalit leaders of Uttar Pradesh? Let us discuss this in today's video, but before that, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to our channel, you like this video and you comment below it. And if you're watching this video on Facebook, please do like our page and share this video to as many people as possible. Now let's begin. In the 90s, when the Dalit movement was coming to age, slogans like Thakur Brahmin Badiya Chhod, Baki Sab Hai DS4 या फिर मिले मुलायम काशी राम हवा हो गए जय श्री राम, these kind of slogans were very popular. These slogans had in fact captured the imagination of the electorate. Social justice was the underlying theme of the campaign, and 2 leaders rose from this movement. One was Mulayam Singh Yadav and another was Kanshi Ram. With Kanshi Ram, the Dalit politics saw a different dynamics because the movement then was not confined to anger on the street, it was converted at ballot box into votes. From 1990s to now, there hasn't been a single election where Dalit issues were not a core issue. Surprisingly, despite the rise in crimes against Dalit in the past few years, Dalit issues are not at the core of this time's UP election campaigning, and the reason is pretty obvious. In an election where everyone seeks votes from their caste and community, Dalit leaders are missing. Mayawati, prodigy of Kanshi Ram and 2-term Chief Minister of India's largest state, is missing in action. So much so that the BJP and the Congress party have been questioning the party over this in election rallies. Now let us talk about UP's Dalit population. According to 2011 census, Dalit form 20% of UP's population, making it one of the strong electoral communities. They are generally divided into 2 groups, that is Yadav Dalits and non-Yadav Dalits. Mayawati was able to consolidate the Dalit vote bank in 2007. However, the fault lines started to appear as non-Yadav Dalits felt that the Yadavs were getting preferential treatment. Interestingly enough, slowly this non-Yadav Dalit vote bank shifted from BSP to Samajwadi party and then now with the BJP. According to CSDS Lokniti findings in 2014, 45% of the non-Yadav Dalits voted for BJP, which increased to 48% in 2019, whereas the Yadav votes have remained strong with Mayawati. In 2014, 64% Yadavs voted for BSP, which in fact then rose to 75% in 2019 when BSP was contesting in alliance with SP. However, the discontent against Mayawati has also grown over the period. Let us talk about rising crimes against the Dalits. It is a general discontent among the Dalit community, which has stood strong behind Mayawati for years, that she is not seen among people, that she does not come out of her ivory towers. On October 6, 2020, members of the Yadav Mahapanchayat torched Mayawati's effigy in Agra because they were unhappy over her silence on the alleged gang rape and murder of a 19-year-old Dalit woman in Hathras. In the same case, all she did was put out few tweets and condemn the BJP government. The Hathras gang rape had shaken the entire nation. Leaders of all political parties met the victim's family. There were dharnas, there were protests going on, but BSP was nowhere to be seen. And despite the government data suggesting that atrocities on Dalits have risen in the state in the past few years, the BSP has not been very much vocal about these issues. According to a written reply provided by the Union Home Ministry in the Lok Sabha during the recently concluded winter session of the Parliament, UP accounted for maximum number of cases, that is 36,471 to be precise, out of 1,39,045 cases of crimes against scheduled caste across all the states in the period between 2018 and 2020. Now, let us also talk about the caste equations. While Yogi Adityanath's 80 versus 20 sparked debate in the state, Swami Prasad Maurya yesterday said that this is a fight of 85 versus 15. That means 85% backward community in the state versus 15% of the forward caste communities in the state. Akhilesh Yadav has started building poll narrative around OBC votes. The BJP, on the other hand, is trying to please the Brahmins and upper caste Hindus. But Mayawati seems to have relied on her 2007 equation of Dalits and Brahmins. Seemingly in a retirement mode, she has handed over the party chief post to Satish Chandra Mishra, her trusted aide. But many Dalit leaders of her party are not happy that the party, which has a legacy of the historic Dalit movement in the state, has been given in the hands of a Brahmin instead of Bahujans. One of the reasons many say why Mayawati remains away from the campaigning is because she is allergic to dust, or there are rumors that her skin doctor has asked her to stay away from sun. However, another and more believable reason seems to be that the cases are pending against her in corruption cases. In the election season, opposition leaders have seen visits by Income Tax Department and the ED and the CBI. Some believe to avoid that, Mayawati has been toning her criticism towards BJP down. But that being said, other Dalit leaders in the state also seem missing in action. Chandrashekhar Azad Ravan today conducted a press conference and said that he will not be tying up with Akhilesh Yadav. The talks went sour over seat sharing, but even before this, Chandrashekhar Azad too was not seen in the election campaigning. So the question finally remains is, at a time when the Dalit issue requires much more attention, the community needs more representation, will this election offer anything to the community? Do let us know what you think about this in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in. Also, before I end this video, editorial with Sujit Nair will be back from Monday onwards due to some personal reasons, due to some issues. Mr. Sujit Nair, our managing editor, could not do his regular editorials. But now, Monday onwards, the editorial will be back. So do not forget to tune in to HW News Network at 10 p.m. at night. Thank you so much.